Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pick a Side Stupid. This week, we are talking about Christmas movies. So, all of our debates will have to do with Christmas movies somehow. There's some questions about the classics, It's a Wonderful Life, and what else is a classic? Like the how the Grinch Stole Christmas and things like that. And then there's also some about new ones that maybe aren't as well known that I've been watching this week. Myself and Sarah, we've watched probably 14 or 15 Christmas movies so far this month, all of which we'd never seen before. So we're really delving into new territory, and many of them are awful. We accidentally watched a Hallmark one, and it had its moments. But overall, it's been an experience. So we're going to go around and say hi to all the comics that are joining us tonight, and then we'll get into the debate. So first up, we have our good friend John Farrell with us tonight. Hey, John.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Good. I love that Titans flag, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing all right this year. So it's exciting. Let me ask you if you have a favorite Christmas movie, one that's so good because it's good or so good because it's bad. Either way, just whatever you would want to watch the most.
I do love a Muppets Christmas Carol. It just makes you feel.
Yeah, that's true. I was just like watching the trailer for it the other night, and I was like, I should just watch this right now because it's just so much fun.
It should have won every Oscar. It's a beautiful movie.
It should win every Oscar every year, even though it wasn't made every year. It should just continuously win.
I keep writing them. They haven't gone back to my letters, but they will.
Yeah, well, maybe this year on Christmas. So we also have our friend Zach Jones with us. Hey, Zach.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? How's your Christmas movie watching experience this year?
So far so good. I watched It's a Wonderful Life, which is probably my favorite one. And I cried in front of my girlfriend for the first time, so that was nice.
Nice. How long have you been with your girlfriend?
Since about the beginning of pandemic, so 9 months.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. And she hasn't seen you cry up until this point?
I'm very subtle about it.
Okay. But it's a Wonderful Life just pushed you over the edge though. It's too much.
Yeah. No, I mean it's got a very powerful message of capitalism is going to destroy your life. But maybe don't kill yourself about it.
Yeah. I like it. All right, great. Well, we'll see you in the debate in a little bit. We also have our friend Liz Esty with us tonight. Hey, Liz.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. I have watched more Hallmark movies than ever before.
Yeah?
And I think my brain is gone now.
What's the worst one that you've seen so far?
I don't know if it's a Hallmark one, but I had to stop watching it. It was called like not a Christmas Prince, like a Prince for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And like the main character was supposedly a doctor, but they were clearly in an office building that they had just tried to make look like a hospital. I think I made it like a half hour in, and then I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I love the low budget films. Like even ones that like I watched one that had Queen Latifah in it and LL Cool J. So like clearly there's some money there, but like they did this thing where they were working in the department store, but when they went to the doctor's office, it was also in the department store. And like the department store owned the CAT scan machine that she got her CAT scan on. And it just like, none of it made sense. But anyways, your background, it looks like you're being assaulted by two young boys.
Oh no. I would say A Christmas Story is one of my favorite like older movies. It's got a meanness to it that I find fun.
It is great. It is a great movie. I love the bully scene where he finally gets him. It's just so much fun. And also, it was made in the 80s, which I did not realize until like last year. I always thought it was like made in the 50s.
No, it was for people who were like kids then.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there might be a Christmas story question at some point tonight. So we'll see if we can get into that. We also have our friend Nova Mangini here. Hey, Nova, what's happening?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? How are you enjoying the season so far?
It's been hard to get into the holiday spirit this year because I'm living somewhere where I can't decorate, but usually I go all out. So it's been
Mhm.
hard not having a tree. So I have been watching a lot of movies, but maybe like more of the non-traditional ones this year.
Yeah. So you can't even get like a fake tree in there?
I'm moving out of here in like a month anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's like we don't want to go down that route right now.
Sure. Yeah. Too much work. I hear you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cool. But yeah, once you get the new place, decorations abound, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Sweet. So do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
I'm probably tied between like the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I feel like I have to watch that every year, and Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, nice. Edward Scissorhands, doesn't get the recognition as a Christmas movie that
It's
it
definitely a
deserves.
Christmas movie.
It is.
I also like to binge watch Christmas movies based on like a theme. Like last year I did this whole like temporal displacement movie marathon where it was all these movies in this sort of Groundhog Day scenario. There's so many of them. So many of them. It's wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Well, we might get into Rudolph tonight. We'll see. We also have our friend Joe Polano with us tonight. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing it, man. So what do you watch on repeat during December?
Well, my favorite is Gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite because you don't get Gremlins 2, the new batch, without Gremlins 1.
Yeah. Are you disappointed that Gremlins 2 didn't follow up as a Christmas movie?
It is a President's Day film. That's a key plot point. It occurs on President's Day. So I respect the homage to Phoebe Cates's depressing Santa monologue.
Oh man, it's so dark.
Yeah, I always get people who watch Gremlins for the first time and they're like, "Oh, I thought it was a kids movie. It's very sad and violent."
Yeah, they trick you into thinking it's a kids movie, and then it is not.
No, but I watched it a lot as a kid, and that's why I'm like this.
Yeah, all right. So I think we have at least one about Gremlins tonight. So hopefully you'll get that one, Joe. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
We also have our friend Nick Martucci with us. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Sean.
So you have a background there from Twins, or?
Yeah, no, this is right behind me here. That's my favorite mattress salesman, All-American Howard Langston.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jingle All the Way.
Uh-huh.
The all-time greatest Christmas movies, and part of a trilogy in the 90s of at least 3 Christmas movies where a bad dad has to atone to his young son through some ridiculous circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
It's this one, The Santa Claus, and the Michael Keaton Jack Frost.
Oh, I haven't seen Jack Frost.
Michael Keaton dies and becomes a snowman who looks like George Clooney.
All right. Well, something to look forward to.
A real fun time for a kid who loved all of those movies and didn't know why until therapy.
All right. Well, Jingle All the Way, great movie. And we might be talking about that as well tonight. We also have our friend Tyler Derniak with us tonight. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say maybe Charlie Brown Christmas for you. What is it?
I mean, it's Charlie Brown Christmas isn't a movie, it's a Christmas special. So that's 2 very different things. A special, it doesn't have the feature-length film runtime.
Uh-huh.
If you watch it without commercials, it takes roughly 12 minutes, like every Charlie Brown special. I do love it. I do have my Charlie Brown Christmas glass here. But if we're just talking movies, Home Alone is the best Christmas movie.
Yes. The violence in Home Alone is maybe not even surpassed by Die Hard. Like, they're pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
More death than Die Hard, but like, I mean, Joe Pesci probably would have died much earlier in the movie if it was a little bit more realistic. So
Yeah. I mean, you remember this? There's the scene where what's his name? The not Joe Pesci Robert like steps just on a nail, and it shows it just going into his foot. Clear symbolism of what Christ went through, which just makes it even more Christmassy.
Yeah, I think that's a good time to move on to our next comic. We also have Lloyd Legacy Sharp with us today. Hey, Lloyd.
Hi.
How's it going?
I am alive, and it's good enough to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So what's your favorite Christmas movie, Lloyd?
Well, I would say Die Hard, but that is not what I'm going to argue at this point. So I am going to go with the original Grinch cartoon.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That is. I could watch it probably every day of the year. I mean, I would watch it every day of the year and maybe start a podcast about watching it every day of the year. Except that feels like vaguely familiar, like somebody's done something similar already. But it is a great movie. And one example of like why you should make live action movies out of already great cartoons, even if you have Jim Carrey involved.
That one worked. Doesn't always work.
Doesn't always work. True.
Could have done without Will Smith going blue face, but we won't talk about that tonight.
Lloyd, let me ask you: are there any wrestling Christmas specials?
Yes. Worth talking about? No. But for the sake of argument, I'll name two. There's Santa with Muscles, and there's whatever that movie Hulk Hogan did where he ruined Santa Claus, which is probably the one I just mentioned.
Okay, Santa with Muscles. I'm making a note of this right now because I have not seen that one. But this December is all about watching movies that I have not seen before. So I'm adding that to the list. So
Do it at your own risk. Do it at your own risk.
You what?
Do it at your own risk.
I missed the first part of that. But anyways, let's move on to the debate. So we're going to get into the debate right now. Each comic will have a minute to make their case, followed by a 30-second rebuttal. And you, the audience, will vote for the winner. Whoever you vote for will be moving on to the next round to face another comic. So our first matchup of the night will be between Zach Jones and Nick Martucci. Yep. So, Zach, how's it going? You'll get to choose whether you go first or second here.
I'll go second.
Second. Okay. So, Nick, you can pick from any of the categories, which are action, comedy, romance, horror, or wild card.
Let's go romance.
Okay. Romance. So, this is a question about the Queen Latifah movie, Last Holiday.
Yes, we know.
Yeah. Okay. Of course you do. All right. So your question is, would you rather order every plate on the menu at a 5-star restaurant or have LL Cool J conquer his fear of flying to find you and express his love for you on Christmas?
I want LL Cool J. I am not going to a restaurant no matter how many stars they have. I'm not sitting inside long enough for them to serve me every meal on the menu. This is new unprecedented times. This is the new normal. And in the new normal, ladies love Cool James loves me. He already conquered the deep blue sea. His hat's like a shark's fin. Now it's time for him to conquer the great blue sky. Conquer's fear of flying, come to me. This is my fantasy for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is for the man who sang Mama Said Knock You Out to me. Don't call it a comeback. It's a reunion. It's a Christmas miracle. That's my hope.
That's unbelievable. He said he's going to knock you out, and you still want him to come to you? Come on, come on. You can do better than that for yourself, Nick. You gotta find who Nick loves. Cool James. There's one out there for you. No, I'm ordering everything at a 5-star restaurant. Mostly because I don't think those stars really mean anything. I want to see what happens when you kick those restaurants into high gear, because they put all those stars and then everything becomes so expensive that they don't have to have that many tables a night, so they never really have to get up to the level of, say, like an Applebee's when a whole Little League team comes in. Like I want to see how hard a 5-star restaurant can really work. And I want to eat like animal organs and caviar and all kinds of other stuff that I would never try.
See, my other problem with that is nobody said that you don't have to pay for it or anything. That is a bill that I can't handle on my current salary. It's irresponsible, frankly. You know what's not irresponsible? Loving LL Cool J. Allowing him to show you the world through the sky as God intended. He's from up there, he created from up there. That's sort of how he wants you to see. And if I'm flying next to my BF James there, it's gonna be a good time. NL Cool J. Nick loves Cool James.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know how much this meal is going to cost, but I'm pretty sure that like getting LL Cool J to profess his love to you is going to cost more. I mean, I'm guessing his cameo rate is a couple $100, and that's just to say hello. But that's before even falling in love. No, and you never have to actually pay the bill because you're going to die. Because so like when the bill comes time to pay, just cry about it. You can get a lot out of a lot of things by crying, but you can't make.
All right, a lot of good points here, but it's going to be up to you, the audience, to choose your winner. So head into the poll right below in the description on YouTube, where it says voting link, and you can choose Zach or Nick. And while we're waiting for a choice to be made, why don't we ask a trivia question of, let's see, James Sheehan's here. Why don't we ask James a trivia question if you're, is that cool, James?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know if you were like, don't talk to me. I like the background.
I'm strictly an anti-Christmas trivia question family, so.
Yeah. All right. So this has to do with the movie we were just talking about, Last Holiday, with Queen Latifah. So
excellent.
In that movie, she spends her life savings on a trip to the Czech Republic. So why does she do this? Is it A, because her doctor told her that she has 3 weeks to live? B, because she fell in love with a ghost? C, she was visited by the spirit of Christmas, past, present, and future, and they told her to take the trip? Or is it D, because LL Cool J was there and she wanted to meet him?
Isn't there like a licensing agreement that if any movie uses 3 ghosts to tell anyone to do anything, that they have, like, the movie has to be called A Christmas Carol? Is that like, is that?
I don't know.
I feel like that's in the fine print somewhere. Legal action will probably be taken by, I don't know, whoever wrote that book, and Shakespeare, whatever. So they have to go to the Czech Republic. Did the Czech Republic exist in this universe? Is it
in 1997? When was this made? 2003
yeah,
or something?
did the wall fall down? Is this
2005, I think.
2005? Okay. I don't know, that I just wanted to wonder if you knew that. That has nothing to do with how I answer this question. Let's say that she wanted to go because LL Cool. I imagine LL Cool J when he's not when he's not frequenting practicing the rules for NCIS Los Angeles, that he frequents the Czech Republic a lot, and that's where Queen Latifah would go if they were going to go on a date. That just seems like someplace that two former Queen Latifah rapped, right? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that seems like someplace where two former rappers would go and collaborate and put an album out. Check,
Yeah.
It'd be like Check Yourself. That'd be the name of the album. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Great answer, wrong answer. She went there because her doctor told her that she had 3 weeks to live. And
was the cure in the Czech Republic? Like,
no, she just wanted to spend all her money before she died. So she went to very fancy hotel, spent all her money. That's why she got every meal that was on the menu at this fancy restaurant. It's a good watch last holiday. It's better than you would expect,
Well, I expect it to be really good. So
well, it's even better than what you thought it was going to be. But anyways, the results are not in. It says 0-0, Zach Jones and Nick Martucci. So that can't be right.
Going to overtime.
That feels right.
Let's see if I run this again. What you thought it was going to be. I'm going to vote right now just to make sure that it says that there's people on here that are voting, but none of them came through. So I'm going to vote right now. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for, but I'm going to do it just to make sure that this is working, that we get at least one vote in here. And if you can all just vote one more time. Sorry if you did the first time and I lost your vote. Just toss your vote in there now, and then we'll close it and see who won this round and who's moving on to the next round. And we won't ask a trivia question in the meantime because we're only going to keep this open for another 10 seconds or so.
Feels like an illegitimate election.
Yeah, is this a Dominion voting system?
I mean, whoever loses this should definitely petition for the results to be overturned, for sure.
I'm at least going to ask Georgia to vote again.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. As the results come in here, the winner is Nick Martucci. Nick Martucci is our winner. But he does want to challenge the results. So
just make it fair, I think.
Yeah. All right. So our next matchup will be between Lloyd Legacy Sharp and Nova Mangini. So Lloyd, it will be up to you to decide whether you want to go first or second here.
I'll go second, John.
Okay. So Nova, you can pick from, let's see, what categories do we have left? We have action, comedy, horror, or wild card.
Let's just go wild card.
Wild card. Okay. So your question is from May Keith, and what she wants to know is, how do you prefer to learn the error of your ways in just in time for Christmas? Do you prefer to do it by being visited by multiple ghosts, or by stealing everything from an entire village?
Oh, this is easy for me. Absolutely. You will learn the error of your ways if you're visited by ghosts. I have personal experience with hauntings as a childhood, and they've definitely scared me straight. I don't think grand larceny is going to teach me much of a lesson. But being visited by dead people and yelled at about everything I've done wrong in my life, I think that might correct my behavior slightly. But yeah, stealing things, unless there was a small child to change my heart along the way, who gives a shit, man? You get free stuff. Just do it again every year. But the ghosts of people haunting you and yelling at you for shit you've done, that'll make you change some decisions. That's my final answer.
All right, Lloyd, you are up.
Mr. Carter, I'm a man who likes to deal in absolutes. not maybes. There's a chance that ghosts might not exist. And if that's the case, I'll never learn the error of my ways. I'm talking to myself, and that's self-affirmation I already have. Now, if I steal everything in a village, like we're supposed to do, according to some people, then at least at some point I'll get caught because we always do. And at that point, if I live, I will have learned that I should not do that again. Now, I won't enjoy the experience. I won't enjoy the time in jail. And I probably won't enjoy the media coverage, but at least I will learn. Definitely. As opposed to ghosts. Maybe.
If you're only learning if you get caught, does that really count? I mean, what if you never get caught? Then you never learn. And if you're saying ghosts don't exist and that it's just some sort of apparition that's a manifestation of your psyche, wouldn't that still at least be you having guilt for your wrong actions and you are maybe learning a lesson from that?
Nope. First of all, look at me. What do you mean if I get caught? Secondly, if I'm giving myself a hard time, I'm not going to learn anything because I can just change my mind and decide I'm good. Can't do that if I took a bunch of goods from the people down the road.
You can't be good if you took some goods? Is that what you just said?
All right. Hey, a lot of good points here. And, I want to know how people would prefer to learn lessons as well. Who do you agree with? Go in and vote. Check out the link right below the video on YouTube where it says voting link and pickasidestupid.com #poll. And you can vote right there. When you click on it, it'll turn green. That's how you know that your vote went through. And once we close it, we'll read off the winner. So while we're waiting, maybe I can ask this trivia question of Zach Jones. So Zach, I have a trivia question for you about a Hallmark Christmas movie. Have you watched any of those?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, well, just based on what you would imagine a Hallmark Christmas movie would be like,
Sure.
Just do the best that you can to answer this. So this movie was called The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Henry Winkler is in it, and some lady with, a wonderful smile. I don't remember her name, but she was a business lady, and there's this whimsical guy that comes into town and kind of wins her over. And on the morning of Christmas, she realizes that she's not going to be able to get the bike from the toy store for her kid that she promised she'd get. And this whimsical man kind of fixes the situation. So my question is, how does he take care of the situation? Is it A, he reveals that he is actually really Santa Claus and he's going to have his elves make the bike for the kid? Is it B, he reveals that he actually owns the toy store and he's going to make sure that kid gets the bike? Is it C, that he kisses the business lady and tells her that Christmas isn't about gifts? or is it D, that he challenges the toy store clerk to a fight and then hits him with a trash can and takes the bike?
Okay. So we know the first one can't be true. We know that the elves get a mandatory vacation starting on Christmas Day. They've been working for 6 months straight. These are union rules. The second one is that he owns the toy store, which that's plausible, I think, but also doesn't totally make sense because if he owns the toy store, why doesn't he just have the damn bike for sale? I don't think he's going to beat somebody up. These are not conflict-heavy movies, to my knowledge. And then what was C again?
C was that he just kisses her and tells her that Christmas isn't about gifts.
Okay, so sort of like the Grinch type of ending.
Yeah.
Well, Unless he's gonna kiss the boy too, that doesn't help the kid's problem. I'm gonna go with B. That he owns the toy store.
That's an excellent guess, and it's probably what I would have guessed if I hadn't watched it. But the answer is actually that he challenges the store clerk to a fight and then hits him with a trash can and then takes the bike, which was an unexpected twist for a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, throwing some punch. Okay, I might have to check this one out now.
It's the only exciting part of the movie, so don't get too excited about it. But it does have Henry Winkler, which is nice, and it has the woman basically picks up her phone at some point and just goes business, 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 business to show that she's a business lady. It's very the script is very light.
Hallmark movies are anti-capitalism for women. They're pro-capitalism, but not for women. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. All right. The votes are in, and you guys have voted, and you've voted to move on. Lloyd Legacy Shark tonight. So Lloyd will be moving on to the next round. Lloyd Legacy. Okay. Nice job. Nice job, both of you. On to the next debate. We will have Tyler Durniak and John Farrell. So Tyler, it will be up to you whether you want to go first or second here.
I'll go second.
Okay, so John, you can pick from action, comedy, or horror.
Let's go horror.
Horror, okay. So what's the scarier premise for a Christmas movie? Is it that Santa is actually evil and has just been found in a block of ice during an excavation, what was that one called? Rare Exports, or frat boys turned evil by magic during Christmas break, like Black Christmas?
I think Santa. I think it's way scary if Santa gets melted from an ice cube, because that does show the horrors of global warming. And let me tell you, that's an angry Santa Claus. Frat boys, I'm not afraid of those dorks. Those Bud Light drinking sons of bitches, I'm not afraid of them at all. But oh boy, Santa Claus, when he's not been getting presents or anything, he's just been building hate inside that ice cube. That keeps your heart rate very low, but your mind very strong. Frat boys, they've been living off of, jazz cigarettes and other stuff that I don't much care for. But Santa Claus, that guy, he has one. And also, it's an issue of coal. So he also is contributing to the global warming. That's how fucking mad this guy is. He just wants to see the world burn. And I think these frat boys, I think they got a one-layer plan. And they haven't even graduated from fucking college yet. Santa has a PhD. And those frat boys are fucking jokesters. And that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm going to say the evil frat boys are way more dangerous than, just one singular evil Santa Claus, because, what frat boys are great at is networking. That's what fraternities are all about. They're huge networking events. And if these evil people are able to network, they can start affecting everything. How do you think Lehman Brothers happened? That was evil frat boys with evil Christmas magic who got a good internship, and then they came up with CDOs, and that was all because of evil Christmas magic. That is how every financial crisis comes about. That's how every war comes about, are frat boys being tricked by evil magic to become more evil than their already base level of evil, because frat boys have more power than Santa.
I think these Lehman Brothers sound made up, and I think you're reading off Wikipedia that you're making false claims. I appreciate it. That's some absolute bullshit. I think they're fucking awful at networking. How do you think Santa got all those elves? That's fucking networking, baby. That's fucking bullshit. Lehman Brothers. Ugh. I've never heard of them. I have heard of Santa Claus, though. Not to brag. I don't know if you've heard of him. He seems like a fucking evil person. He's wearing red all the time. The color of hate. He's wearing red, white, and he's making people work for him.
Where did Santa Claus get all those elves? He didn't like network to get them. He contracted out a recruiting agency. Do you know what recruiting agencies are run by? Frat boys. That's the first place frat boys go. They go right from a college frat house to like a weird office in the financial district where they get people jobs. I know because I've met so many of them. It's just it's the only way any of the evil in the world exists is because
All right. A lot of good points here, but it's going to be up to you, the audience, to choose your winner. So go into the link below where it says pickasidestupid.com #poll and vote for either Tyler or John, depending on who you think made the best argument for their side there. And while we're waiting, maybe I can ask this trivia question of Nova. Nova, hey, can you tell me which of these Christmas movies was released the earliest? Like, of the 4 that I'm going to list, which one was released earliest? Okay. So your options are A, Gremlins, B, Babes in Toyland, the version with Drew Barrymore and Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
C, Scrooged, or D, Die Hard.
I think I feel like it's Scrooged or Die Hard. The first Die Hard was 88, right? Yeah, because Die Hard 2 is 90. I went through this the other day. So no, that's it. I'm going with Scrooge because I can't place that in a timeline. So I'm just going to go with that.
Okay. Well, you're right that Die Hard came out in 88. Scrooge
Yes.
also came out in 88. But the correct answer is Gremlins, which came out in 1984. Yeah.
I thought that was later. All right.
Yeah, it feels like a late 80s movie, but it's pretty early, yeah.
It's what invented the PG-13 rating.
Because of Gremlins?
That's awesome.
Gremlins and Raiders.
Oh, wow. So getting your face melted off is part of what makes it a 13?
Yeah. When you turn 13, you can watch people's faces melt, but you can't hear the word fuck 4 times.
All right. Well, the results are in, and moving on from this round is John Farrell. So John Farrell will be heading into round 2 here. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but Babes in Toyland came out in 1986. And if you have not seen it, watch it, because it's like, it's what I imagine a NASA trip would be. I've never done it, but it's like such a strange movie, and it's a young Keanu Reeves and an even younger Drew Barrymore. It's just so weird to see them in this. It's weird to watch Neo in this movie. So, all right. Next up, we have Joe Polana and Liz Esty.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, Joe, do you want to go first or second?
I think I'd like to go second, please, Sean.
Okay. So, Liz, you can pick from, I think, action or comedy.
Oh, let's do comedy.
Okay. So your question about a Christmas comedy movie. This is about the movie Four Christmases, which is a personal favorite of mine. Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. I don't know how you could beat that. But your question is, what is more likely to cause a major problem in your relationship on Christmas Day? Finding out that your partner suddenly wants to have a baby, or finding out that your partner is terrible at board games?
You know, I'm only saying this because of my family and because of how much therapy I've had. I feel like I can work through a sudden baby desire. If you're bad at board games, there's no way my family will ever accept you. And like that is that is a deal breaker. My family only relates to each other through board games, cannot have a conversation without it devolving into an argument unless there's a board game in front of us. So that's a deal breaker, ladies. And a sudden baby, like, that's uncomfortable, but like I feel like you can talk it out, but like I don't want to teach someone how to play board games. Like you're either good at it or you're not, and if you're not, you're out. Time.
Oh, no, I need them to be bad at board games so I can win board games. Like, that's what I'm here for. I have the ego of a old man. I'm set in my ways, and I need to be constantly built up because I feel like I'm entitled to it in this country. Damn it! There's a war on Christmas. You think I can lose Candyland? No. Also, it's not so much having a baby, it's that I'm clearly Reese Witherspoon in this situation, and there can't be more Vince Vaughns in this world. One is too many. I was in that relationship purely for the Wedding Crashers nihilism. I want only sad libertarian fucking and occasional wisecracks. We cannot carry this forward for another generation. And yeah.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I've been losing board games my whole life. So, like, that's a non-issue for me. I understand that you have a very delicate ego, but that's not my problem, Joe. And I mean, who said the sudden baby had to be Vince Vaughn's? What if it's like a sperm donor? Think outside the box. A sudden baby could come from anywhere. If we learned anything from The Witcher, a child surprise. So,
okay, there's nothing more terrifying than Vince Vaughn going, I want a baby, I don't care where from. That is way worse than being bad at a board game. That's horrifying. Also, you said my ego's not your problem, but if we were dating, my ego is your problem. It's everyone's problem. It's something I inflict upon those close to me, like comedy. Got Lloyd. That's all I'm here for.
All right. Well, a lot of good points here. But once again, it's going to be up to the audience to vote and choose their winner. So head into the poll right now. The link is right below this video on YouTube in the description. And you can click on it and vote for either Joe or Liz. And let me know who you want to move on to the next round. And while we're doing that, why don't we ask Tyler Derniak a question here, a little trivia question. Hey, Tyler.
Hi.
So I have a question for you about the movie Elf.
Okay.
So yeah, May Keith wrote this question for last night's show. So in the movie Elf, they shot the spaghetti and candy and sugar scene twice. Why did they do that? Was it A, because Will Ferrell vomited the first time? B, because Will Ferrell wanted to eat the food again? C, because the actor playing Buddy's father vomited during the first take? Or D, because the first plate of sugar spaghetti was covered in ants?
Right, it's definitely vomit. I'm gonna say it was the actor playing the dad. Will Ferrell could power through that, but I don't think other people could witness Will Ferrell eating that.
So the answer is that Will Ferrell vomited during the first take. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty gross.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Did you try to recreate that when you watched it the first time?
No, I was a kid and my parents didn't let me use the kitchen.
Did you grow up in one of those houses that had the lock on the refrigerator?
Well, they figured it was just easier to lock me in one room than to lock all the rooms I shouldn't be in.
Okay. All right, well, this is getting dark. Let's move on. Everybody has voted, and moving on this round is Joe Polana. So Joe Polana will move on to the next round. And that means that we're down to 4 comics right now. So facing off right now is Lloyd Legacy Sharp and Nick Martucci.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, Lloyd, you can choose whether you go first or second here.
Go second again.
Okay. So, Nick, you can pick from any category that you want: action, comedy, romance, horror, or wild card.
Worked out well the first time. Let's keep the love alive. Romance.
Romance. Okay. So your question is, which Hallmark Christmas movie character would you rather have as an all year round best friend? The serious business lady with no Christmas spirit, or the whimsical Christmas man that's new in town?
Serious business lady. First of all, I don't need another man as a friend. I don't care how whimsical or not he is. Second, I need a new friend who is busy so that we don't have to try to plan things. We can just accept we're going to talk a couple of times a year at most over coffee. I don't care how she feels about the holidays. I don't care if she's like no nonsense or, she has a career and doesn't have time for a family or a man or a scone or whatever those movies are about. I need a friend that we have a mutual understanding that we don't need this to be anything more than, hi, how have you been? Okay, talk to you again on Thanksgiving.
No, a year ago I might have agreed with him. But 2020 has been a long year, full of ultra serious issues and ultra serious happenings and ultra serious circumstances that have made me more crazy than I was when I got here. I need a little whimsicality, a little fun, a little light, a little jovialness in my life, especially now. And you know what would have made this year go by a lot quicker, despite the riots, despite the racism, despite the politics, despite everything else I'm not going to mention because I want this to stay monetized? You know what would have made that better? A whimsical friend. Now, sure, the fact that he's a man is a bit of a downgrade because there's enough of us, but I'll take it. It would have been better, easier in 2020. Time.
I don't need another man taking my place as the whimsical fella. Have you ever seen like 2 comics try to out-funny each other? Neither are funny. You need somebody who is just down and somber about their life so you can crack some jokes and they can give you that face and you're like, no, I get it, I'll back off. But I don't need another guy doing that to me. I couldn't handle being around me. I need somebody who is my antithesis. I need somebody, opposites attract. And if she doesn't want to be whimsical, I respect that lady.
That ain't work for you, Nikki. But the fact of the matter is, this year has been full of nothing funny, nothing to laugh at. Nobody trying to out-funny each other, just everybody trying to survive. I need that whimsical guy. I don't want him, but you know what? This year, I need him. I'll kick him out next year. This year, he makes it all easier.
Yeah. All right. A lot of good points here and 2 solid cases made, but it's going to be up to you, the audience, to choose your winner. So head into the poll right now. The link is right below this video in the description on YouTube, where it says pick a side stupid #poll. Go ahead and vote for Lloyd or Nick. Those are the only 2 options in there. I could have written a third or a fourth. We have the ability. I might do that next round just to switch it up and see what happens. But Lloyd or Nick, and while people are voting, we can do another fun little trivia question. Let me ask this back to James Sheehan, who's got a great background. I thought that was Tyler behind you for a minute. I was like, oh, they're playing their game again. Okay. But so your question is, in the film Anna and the Apocalypse, Christmas is ruined by what? And your options are A, a world-ending asteroid headed for Earth, B, a novel coronavirus, C, unwanted family members visiting, or D, zombies.
What's the title of this movie?
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Anna and the Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like what would really ruin Anna's Christmas? What would at an apocalyptic level? I mean, a world-ending asteroid is super specific, because it's not just like a super friendly asteroid that just comes colliding anywhere. But family sounds like, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably just say like a COVID novel virus,
novel coronavirus,
like a book, like. What do you mean?
Yeah, like a book of coronaviruses, James. That's what I meant.
Oh, that ruined my Christmas. Oh my god. What was the last one?
The last one was zombies.
Oh, it's zombies. It's got to be zombies.
Yeah, that's right. It's
anything with apocalypse is zombies. You know, it's maybe books.
Yeah. If it was Anna and the Armageddon, then we'd know that it was the asteroid. But
right, you need Steven Tyler and whoever else was in that movie.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And
Liv Tyler. It was Liv Tyler, not Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler wrote the song. He's in the movie. If he contributes a song, it's part of a movie.
He didn't actually even write that one. That one was written for Aerosmith.
Well,
by Steven Tyler.
Okay, well, the votes are in, and in a close one, Nick Martucci is our winner this round. So Nick will be moving on to the finals here tonight. And next up to see who's going to face Nick in the finals, we have Joe Polana and John Farrell. So, hey, Joe, do you want to go first or second?
I would like to go second, please, Sean.
Okay. So, John, you can pick from, I think, anything except for romance.
Let's do comedy.
Comedy, okay. So your question is, would you rather spend your whole life thinking you were an awkward elf when you were really a human adopted by elves, or live a normal life until you're about 50 years old and then suddenly become Santa Claus?
I'll be 50 and become Santa Claus. That's a nice move. I mean, why would you not choose to be the best person in the holiday? There's no Elf Day. To be fair, there isn't Santa Day either, but there is Christmas, and he's kind of related to him, and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But those two, Elf is third place, if that. I mean, Mrs. Claus is probably third. The reindeer probably getting fourth. Maybe the elves are getting fifth or sixth. I mean, hey, I would even put the coal ahead of the elf, because I mean, that just kind of, it just seems like, I don't know, why would you want to choose to be just some awkward person? I've been an awkward teenager, let me tell you. Real sexy, not gonna lie to you. People say it's not great, but it's some real sexy stuff. Why doesn't anyone tell you that? If you're gonna report me on YouTube, I dare you to, because I'm willing to tell this. But being Santa's pretty sick. Being an elf is for dorks and not a good decision.
Time.
All right. If I'm gonna go with, if you're an elf, you get to either become a dentist or marry Zoe Deschanel. Either way, upgrade in life from where I'm at. No, I say inches away from my girlfriend. Like a real son of a bitch elf. Uh, but elves are great. You gotta be an elf. Santa, you could become Tim Allen at any moment. That's a hell. Any slip and fall could turn you into Tim Allen. I don't know. That's all time narc energy. Is you want to talk about elves being dorks? Tim Allen, aka Santa Claus, doesn't even smuggle cocaine with grace. I'll say it. He's a narc, and elves fuck.
Tap.
All right, you can besmirch, Tim Allen all you want, but his cocaine use is probably pretty good. So I don't much appreciate that. He's probably pretty good at that. Okay, he might be a narcotics officer, as he would like to call it. Sure, I'll give you that one. But else, I don't know. Being a dentist is cool as and all, but also, I don't know. You could also marry Mrs. Claus. She's a pretty important person in the Christmas story. And not to say that the person you listed that I already forgot isn't an important person. I'm not going to say that.
You ranked her third. Yeah, how important are we talking here? And also, the first three most important people in the Christmas story. Didn't think I'd have to tell you this, John. Jesus, God, and the Holy Ghost. Then Santa, then elves, then Santa, because the proletariat is what matters after our Lord and Savior. And I'm sorry, you also were pro hot teenagers and narcs.
All right. A lot of great points here. So put your vote in now, whether it's for Joe or John. You can go
the
on
Holy
to the
Spirit, by the way. It's the Holy Spirit, not the Holy whatever you said.
Holy Ghost is more Christmassy.
Whatever. Tell that to my Bible.
If you could present a Bible right now, I would be.
Want my family Bible? I'll go to my parents' house with my family Bible.
Time. Okay. Get your vote in. Get your vote in right now. And while we're voting, why don't I ask this trivia question of Tyler Derniak? Tyler. Yeah, this is a question. Okay. This is from the action category. So the film, quote, Angels with Filthy Souls, is best described as A, the sequel to It's a Wonderful Life, B, a Christmas-themed porno, C, the old gangster movie Kevin watches in Home Alone.
It's C. It's C.
D,
it's C.
Or D, the first ever Hallmark Christmas movie. What do you think, Tyler?
It's C. It's the famous "Keep the change, you filthy animals," if I remember correctly.
That is correct. How did you learn this?
I've watched Home Alone at least 3 times per year since I was like 4 or 5.
Okay, so Angels with Filthy Souls, fictional
Do you know what
movie.
the one in the sequel is called?
I don't know what it's called. I just know all the words when he's going down the list of people that the lady has been smooching with.
I believe it's Angels with Even Filthier Souls.
I think that makes sense. You've been smooching with everyone. Smooching with Dave, John, little Bobby with the limp, Cliff, and then the hotel security guard's name is Cliff, and he's like, I didn't kiss him, but hijinks ensued.
All right. Well, that one was too easy for Tyler, but it helped us kill some time while people voted. So the votes are in here, and in another pretty close one, Joe Polana wins this round. So Joe will be moving on to the finals here to face Nick Martucci. So it will be Joe and Nick. And Joe, you can choose whether you go first or second.
I will go second, please.
Second, okay. So
I'm
Nick,
gonna stick with my first streak.
with your what?
With my first streak.
Your first streak, romance?
No, I mean I've gone first every time, and I'm gonna continue.
Yeah. You
regardless
should.
of what my opponent says.
Okay. So the questions that we have left are from action, horror, or wild card. We've used all of them in romance and comedy.
Let's go wild card.
Wild card. Okay. So your question is, what's the better Christmas note? The one written to Santa asking for your dad to return for Christmas, like the one in the movie The Christmas Note, or the one that simply reads, "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho."
I mean, the best note is any note to Santa. I don't consider T-shirt slogans notes, Sean. I don't go to Spencer's Gifts to look at the notes. A note is something that you address to somebody, ask for something, say thank you to God and Santa, and ask Santa, does he know where your dad is? I mean, that's a win-win, because one, you get to talk to Santa, and two, your dad's not in your life right now. So it can only get better. You can either continue being out of your life, or you can find out Santa knows your dad and is a pretty cool guy. Santa wouldn't give you a bad dad. I am against arming anybody, including Santa. We have a serious gun problem in America, and I don't think that we should be announcing, at the very least, concealed carry. You don't announce it on a sweater.
Well, if you had gone to Spencer's Gifts and perused their fine assortment of black lights and dildos, you would have found that on the back of the shirt in ultraviolet writing, it says, "Thank you, Santa and God." So it's a Christmas note, all right? He might have put, "Now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho," and blood on the front. All come on the back, "Thank you, Santa and God." So yeah, you really shouldn't be disrespecting Spencer's Gifts. They're holding up the American economy right now. They are the only store that refuses to close. They will never socially distance, give you a giant recreation of the Chucky doll. Okay? They used to scare the shit out of me at the Hanover Mall because it was always front and center. Spencer Gifts. But notes to Santa. Santa gives bad gifts all the time. So I don't know why you would trust him with a dad.
Blacklight writing on the back of a shirt is still not a note. I don't know how to explain this to you. Any sort of writing, regardless of the material that it's printed with, if it's on a shirt, it's not a note. It's just words. A note is a very specific article. It's cherished. I don't want the good name of notes to be besmirched in this debate. Second of all, how dare you say that I haven't perused Spencer's Dildos? There's a real nice one. It sings, "Oh, come, oh, ye faithful." It's a nice Christmas dildo for the family. I love Spencer's. They are not for notes. They are for dildos. Time.
Now imagine having a dildo and a machine gun. That's what makes you feel like a man in this country. That's what Christmas is all about. Stroking the white male ego. That's really Die Hard all the way. Like, oh yeah, I'm Mark Wahlberg. If I was in that situation, I could do everything he did. That was the worst Mark Wahlberg impression you'll ever hear. But that's Christmas, baby.
All right. Well, hey, a lot of good points here. So it's going to be up to you, the audience, to choose your winner for this debate and also for the night. Whoever wins this debate wins for the night. So head into the poll right below. You can find the description, find the link, and vote for either Joe or Nick. And while we're voting, Joe, I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
Little trivia question. Okay. So which Christmas horror movie features the voice acting of Seth Green and Justin Roiland as evil gingerbread men? And your options are A, Krampus, B, The Nightmare Before Christmas, C, Shrek the Halls, or D, Frosty the Killer Snowman.
I don't think Shrek the Halls is a horror film. I think like Adam Scott is in Krampus. I haven't seen it, but that feels like that's most likely to have like contemporary comedy folks pop up in it. So I'm gonna go Krampus. Final answer.
Krampus is correct.
Oh, I gotta see this now.
Yes. So while we're at it, while we're asking more trivia, we might as well ask Nick Martucci one, and I think he might have the answer based on the background that he has. Awesome. Okay, so your question is, Sinbad was eventually cast opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way, but who was Originally considered for the role of Myron? Myron? Is that how you pronounce it?
Myron.
Okay,
He's
so
Jewish.
your options are Bruce Willis, Carl Weathers, Dolph Lundgren, or Danny DeVito.
I don't actually know this. Carl Weathers, I don't think could bring that. I don't think we realized he was a comic until a year. I think it was the same year that Happy Gilmore came out. Dolph Lundgren, that's as a U.S. postman, is about as believable as Arnold Schwarzenegger as a mattress salesman. Who else did we have there?
You also could have chose from Bruce Willis or Danny DeVito.
Bruce Willis would not play number 2 in a movie. There's no way Bruce Willis will be like, yeah, I'll be second to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That is not Bruce Willis. This must have been the third comedy collaboration. If any of those actors would be named Myron, it's Danny DeVito.
That is correct. Danny DeVito is the correct answer here. And to your point about Bruce Willis being the second most important person in a film, I disagree, because I have seen the whole 9 yards, and Matthew Perry is clearly the number 1 in that movie. So okay, let's do another here. We have one. I think let's ask Liz Esty this one. Okay, Liz, which one of these Hallmark movies is not real? Okay, three of these are real.
Okay.
One is made up. Okay, so your options are A, Grandpa for Christmas, B, Christmas at Ground Zero, C, Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater, or D, A Shoe Addict's Christmas.
Okay, the last two are real. Don't ask me how I know that. I've definitely not been watching live Hallmark with ads. That's not a thing. So honestly, I want to say it's B, just because I feel like Hallmark. No, you know what? They would do that though. I'm gonna say A Grandpa for Christmas.
It's a good guess. You knew that 2 of them were definitely fake, but the answer is B, Christmas at Ground Zero is not actually a Hallmark film.
I kind of want it to be, though. I feel like it would immediately be more interesting.
Yeah, it's a Weird Al Yankovic song. But I think if it was a Hallmark film, it would be like this lady that she's there to do some more engineering on how to build a new building there, and some guy just comes into town. He's like, "Yeah, blow off your job. It's not important. Come Christmas shopping with me."
Literally, those movies always end with the woman like capitulating about her career or giving up her career entirely. And that's the message. Every time.
He gave up on 9/11.
The real 9/11 memorial was in here.
I should have known. I swear, Hallmark has so many movies that are a blank for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to look that up, I think they just run like a, word spinner to pick titles.
A 9/11 for Christmas.
I mean, honestly, this year they had one came out called A Christmas Tree Grows in Colorado. And I just want to know why. Like, I feel like that's pretty, it's normal for a Christmas tree to grow in Colorado.
It's a weed thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, the votes are in for this final debate, and our winner, as voted on by the audience, is Joe Polana. So, Joe, congratulations. Excellent job. If there's any Gremlins trivia that you want to drop on us, let us know.
Oh man. Let's see. Like just trivia about the films, or
Sure, anything Gremlins related, I think we'd be happy to know.
the actor in Gremlins 2, the new batch, who sleeps with the female gremlin, recently just posted on his Instagram a photo of him in a shirt with the female gremlin's face that just said, "There are some kisses you never forget," and that was just like a delightful bit of Gremlins 2 still coming in hot and relevance.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, hey, this has been a great time. Thanks for everybody for participating, for debating. It's a good time, and for answering the trivia questions. And thanks to everybody that was watching and voting from home. It's great to see everybody and to talk in the comments and stuff. So we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid. Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, just pick a side, stupid.